Okay, so just going to correct questions 4 to 7, which is your homework for Tuesday. So the first one, it says the sum of the areas of these three rectangles is 189 centimeters squared. Find the value of x. So I know sum means to add, and I know to get the area of a rectangle, it's length by width. So the first one, my area is length by width, which is x by x plus 2, which is x squared plus 2x. This rectangle, it's 2x plus 3 times x plus 1. So I'll have 2x plus 3 times x plus 1. So I split my brackets. So I have 2x times everything in the second bracket plus 3 times everything in the second bracket. So I have 2x times x, that's 2x squared. 2x times 1, that's 2x. 3 times x, that's 3x. And 3 times 1, that's 3. So I'll have 2x squared plus 5x plus 3 for the area of the second rectangle. And then finally, the area of this one is x by x, which is x squared. So I was told the sum of all three of these rectangles adds up to give me 189. So I'll have x squared plus 2 plus 2x squared plus 5x plus 3 plus x squared is equal to 189. And then I have 4x squared plus 7x plus 3. I bring over my 189, it becomes 189 is equal to 0. So I'll have 4x squared plus 7x minus 186 is equal to 0. And then I'm going to solve this using my guide number method. So I multiply the number that's in front of my x squared by my constant. So I'll have 4 by 186, which gives me 744. I need to then write down the factors of 744, which will give me a difference of 7. So I have 1 by 744, 2 by 3872, and I keep going until I get 24 by 31. They have a difference of 6. This here tells me that they're going to be unlike signs, the minus. So I know that one of them is going to be plus and one of them is going to be minus. I want a plus 7x, so I'm going to put the plus with the 31 and the minus with the 24. Then I'm left with, I rewrite it, so I'll have 4x squared minus 24x plus 31x minus 186, and I'll have then factorising by grouping. So I check, is there anything in common between the first two terms? There is. They have 4x, and I'm left at x minus 6. Then I check, is there anything in common between the last two there? And there is. There's 31, and I have x minus 6, and then I bring them together. And I have 4x plus 1 bracket x minus 6 is equal to 0. So I have 4x plus 1 plus 31 is equal to 0, and I have 4x is equal to minus 31, x is equal to minus 31 over 4. And then I have x minus 6 is equal to 0, and I have x is equal to 6. Because I'm dealing with the area of rectangles, I can't have a negative length, so I can only accept x is equal to 6. For question 5, it tells me the perimeter of a rectangle is 160 meters. So I know to get the perimeter, it's 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So I'm told if x is equal to the length, write down an expression for the width in terms of x. So I'll have here x, this is my width. Okay, so I know to get my perimeter is going to be x plus x, which is 2x, and then to get my width is going to be 2 of my width. So 2 times my width is equal to 160. Because I was told in the start of this question it was equal to 160. I have then 2 times my width is equal to 160. I bring over my 2x, which is minus 2x. Then I get my width, 2 times the width. So I want width on its own, so that would be like 2w. So to get the w on its own, really, I divide across by 2. I do the reverse operation, because here's been multiplied. So over here I divide. So I have 160 minus 2x divided by 2. 160 divided by 2 is 80, 2x divided by 2 is x, so my width is actually equal to 80 minus x. Part B of this question says, if the area of the rectangle 5 meters squared, find its dimensions. So I just drew out a rough diagram. I got my width was 80 minus x. I was told my length was x earlier. My area is equal to length by width, and I know my answer is 1536 is equal to my length, which is x, bracket my 80 minus x. So I have 1536 is equal to x times 80 is 80x, x minus x is minus x squared. I'm going to bring everything over now to this side, so I'll have x squared minus 80x plus 1536 is equal to 0. Here I have a quadratic equation, so I need to get my guide number, so it's 1 by 1536, and I get 1536. I need to get the factors of 1536, which have a difference of 80, so I work down all the way here having my factors, and I finally get to 32 by 48. So 32 by 48 have a difference of 80, or they make up 80. So this here tells me they're both going to be the same signs, and here this tells me that I want a minus 80. Okay, so I have minus 32x minus 48x will make minus 80 for me. Then I rearrange this, so I replace the minus 80 with these two terms. So I have x squared minus 32x minus 48x plus 1536 is equal to 0. And I have then x bracket x minus 32, and I check here what they have in common. I take out my 48 and I'm left with x minus 32 is equal to 0. I bring these together, so I have x minus 48, x minus 32 is equal to 0. I have x minus 48 is equal to 0, so I have x is equal to 48, and I have x minus 32 is equal to 0, so I have x is equal to 32. For question 6 here, I have a rectangular garden has dimensions of x plus 5 meters by 16 minus 2x meters. It is surrounded by a pat of constant width of x meters. The area of the pat is 67.5 meters to be squared. First of all, I'm asked to find the area of the garden in terms of x. So the area of the garden is actually a rectangle. So I'll have x plus 5, 16 minus x. Area is equal to length by width. So I'll have x plus 5 times 16 minus 2x. I'll multiply them by each other. So it's x times everything in the second bracket plus 5 times everything in the second bracket. So I'll have x by 16, which is 16x, x by minus 2x is minus 2x squared, 5 times 16 is 80, plus by minus gives me minus 10x, and I have here then, I have minus 2x squared, 16x minus 10x, it gives me plus 6x plus 80. Okay, so that's the area of my garden. Part B, it asks me to find the area of the pat in terms of x. Right, so here I have, this is my garden and outside here was my pat, but I was told like there was x's added all each side, okay? So then my length going across this way, so if I have x plus 5, I need to add plus an x here for this, plus an x here for the pat, so it's going to be x plus 5 plus x, okay? So the full length going across is x plus 5 plus x, which will give me 3x plus 5, so this full way going across the pat is 3x plus 5, and then going down, okay, so here I was told from here to here is 16 minus 2x, but I was also told that this is x, so down here must be x, so to get this length going down here, I have x plus 16 minus 2x plus x, so I have x plus 16 minus 2x plus x is equal, so x plus x is 2x, take away my 2x is 0, so I just have 16. The total area of this shape then is 3x plus 5 bracket 16, so I'll have 3x times 16 give me 48x plus 80, so 5 times. Then to get the area of my pat, I'll go with the total area, take away my garden, which I just got the area of up there. So then I have the area of the pat is the total, take away the garden, so I got the total was 48x plus 80, minus my garden is minus 2x squared plus 6x plus 80, so 48x plus 80 minus by minus gives me plus 2x squared, minus by plus gives me minus 6x squared, minus by plus gives me minus 80. And then when I simplify this, I'm left with 2x squared plus 42x. Part C then says find the value of x. Right, so originally at the start of this question I was told the area of the pat is 67.5 meters squared. I have here worked out what the area of the pat is. So I have 2x squared plus, so I have 2x squared plus 42x minus 67.5 is equal to 0. Then I go off and do the minus b formula. So I have a is equal to 2, b is equal to 42, and c is equal to minus 67.5. So I have my minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I'll have minus 42 plus or minus the square root of 42 to be squared minus 4 bracket a bracket c all over 2 bracket a. So I have minus 42 plus or minus the square root of 2304 all over 4. And when I work it out, I have there that x is equal to 1.5 meters, and I also have that x is equal to minus 22.5, but as we're dealing with area I can't possibly have a negative value, so I can only accept that x is equal to 1.5 meters. And then part D of this question says hence find the area of the garden. So I had worked out the area of the garden was this, and if I'm just after working out that x is 1.5 meters, I sub in and I get 84.5 metres to be squared for the garden. Okay, so for question 7 here, it says a wholesaler sold n bars for n plus 1 cent each on the following day. She doubled the price but 2 fewer to the money on each the same terms of n day plus 1. Okay, so I'm told she sells n bars at this particular price. Okay, so this is my bars, this is the price. Okay, so I'll have n by n is n squared, n times 1 is n. Right, the second day I was told that she doubled the price but sold 2 fewer bars. Okay, so n represents my bars. So n is my bars, n minus 2 is 2 fewer bars. And then I have the price, this is my price. So my price is n plus 1. So I go 2 bracket n plus 1, and that gives me 2n plus 2. And then this here is my bars multiplied by my price. So I get n times 2n plus 2 and minus 2 times 2n plus 2. So I'll have n times 2n, which is 2n squared. N times 2 is 2n. Minus 2 by 2n is minus 4n. Minus by plus is minus 4. And I'll have 2n squared minus 2n minus 4. And I'll have then n squared plus n. Oh, sorry, this is part C, which says find the value of x, so I'm actually solving this. So I was told basically that the first day was the same, she got the same money for the second day. So my first day is n squared plus n, so I have n squared plus n, and that's equal to my second day, which I have 2n squared minus 2n minus n. I'm going to bring everything to one side, so I'm going to bring it all over to this side. So I have 2n squared, bring n over the n squared there, I'll get minus n squared. Minus 2n, bring this over, I get minus n, minus 4 is equal to 0. So 2n squared minus n squared is n squared, minus 2n minus n is minus 3n, minus 4, and now I need to go off and solve that. Okay, so I get my guide number, which is 1 by 4, which gives me 4. Write down my factors that will add to give me my 3. So I have 1 by 4 and 2 by 2. So I'll have 1n and 4n. I want minus 3n, so it's minus 4n plus 1n. Then I rewrite it, so I have n squared plus n minus 4n minus 4 is equal to 0. Then I do factorising by grouping, so I take out my n, I'm left with n plus 1. I take out my 4, I'm left with n plus 1 is equal to 0. Then I have n minus 4, n plus 1 is equal to 0. So I have n minus 4 is equal to 0, and I have n plus 1 is equal to 0. And I get n is equal to 4 and n is equal to minus 1. Okay, I can't accept n to be minus 1 because I couldn't have a negative number of bars.